Welcome to EDUREPUBLIC. Dear students, already we know that Ssc Cgl 2022 notification is out, and we are going to discuss about the Tier 2 syllabus and the complete details about the Tier 2 here. So in detail we are going to discuss about the Tier 2 syllabus for Ssc Cgl. Already we have done with Tier 1 syllabus. Friends, Tier 2 is very important for cracking Ssc Cgl examination because Tier 1 is only for qualifying nature. Okay, following. So already we have done a video on this. So please have that video once and then switch on to this video. Okay, following. So if you are new to this uh, EDUREPUBLIC YouTube channel. Okay, following. So here Ssc Cgl notification, it notifies that around 20,000 plus vacancies are there. So it will be into 400 times the competition will be, there is no doubt. So the people who are preparing for Ssc Cgl must focus mostly on the Tier 2 syllabus itself. Okay, of course Tier 1 is important, but I suggest you that simultaneously with Tier 1, Tier 2 preparation must also go parallelly. Following. So therefore, we shall discuss about the Tier 2 syllabus here. So coming to the scheme of examination of Tier 2, so you have the session 1, okay, following, so which consisting of mathematical abilities and reasoning and general intelligence, which carries 60 questions. Okay, so you have two modules, one is mathematical abilities, the other one is reasoning and general intelligence, nothing but arithmetic and reasoning. Okay, following. So earlier there was no arithmetic syllabus in the Type 2, only English and or no reasoning. Okay, fine. So only arithmetic and pure maths will be asked in the Type 2 syllabus earlier along with English paper. So there are two papers, arithmetic and pure maths. The other one was English. But this time a major change has occurred. Major changes was being brought down in the pattern as well as in the syllabus also. Okay, so therefore two papers are there in the section 1 of session 1. So where you get 60 questions, 30 from mathematical abilities and 30 from reasoning and general intelligence. So total 60 question, and each question carries 3 marks here. So 60 into 3, you need to get around out of 180 marks, you need to get around 140, 120 to 140. Okay, is the best score we can suggest for you in this section 1. Coming to the section 2. Okay, following here also in section 2 we have two modules here, English language as well as general awareness. Both combined, there are 70 questions, nothing but for English the weightage is 45 questions, and for general awareness it is 25 questions. Friends, in Tier 1 also you have seen that it is 25 questions allocated for general awareness. So here also it is 25 questions. So it will be very easy for us to understand the examination syllabus as well as pattern here. Following, so English language 45 questions, okay, so and general awareness 25 questions, total 70 questions into 3, 210 marks is being allocated for the section 2 of session 1. Following, so here 2 hours 15 minutes time is allocated for the two sessions, nothing but for each session it is 1 hour. Okay, following, so 1 hour. So what for section 1 and section 2. Coming to the section 3 of session 1, okay, you have another paper, that is computer knowledge module, where you get 20 questions. So total 20 into 3, 60 marks is being allocated. 60 marks is being allocated. So on an average, out of 450, you need to score here around 380 to 400 marks. So I feel that you are an expert student, you are a hard working student, you are a very serious student. So you must practice the SSC Cgl questions from day one, from today itself. Okay, then only you can crack SSC Cgl 2022. Remember, if you do not solve at least 100 questions per day, okay, following. So it is like 100 questions into 100 days. So you get around 10,000 questions. If 10,000 questions are in your hand, okay, in your mind, automatically you can crack SSC Cgl, my dear friends. Okay, fine. So be it English, be it arithmetic and mathematical abilities, be it general awareness or reasoning, okay, including the computer test. So you must practice around 10,000 questions compulsory. Following, to crack SSC Cgl 2022. So here it is 60 marks allocated for the computer knowledge module and the time is only 15 minutes. So earlier we have seen that for two sections, 1 hour is given, so total 2 hours, and the remaining 15 minutes is allocated for computer knowledge. Okay, following. So coming to the paper 2, that is statistics. Following. So that is for ASO, Assistant Statistical Officer only, not for all the candidates. Okay, following. The candidates who are having statistics as one of the subject in their graduation. Okay, following. So they are eligible for this paper 2. Following. So here 100 questions are being allocated into 2 marks only. So it is 200. For paper 1, it was 3 marks for each question. For paper 2, it is 2 marks for each question. And the time allocated is 2 hours. Okay. For each hour, you can do 50 questions. Next, coming to the paper 3, it is general studies with finance and economics as the options. Following. So here also same 100 questions are given into 200 marks are being allocated. So it is also for 2 hours and okay, following 2 hours 40 minutes for the candidates who are having eligible for scribe. Okay, following. So for the disabled people who are having scribe, for them it is 2 hours 40 minutes. For remaining people it is 2 hours only. Okay, following. So this was the scheme of the examination. Paper 1 is common for all. Paper 2 is only for those who are applying for the Assistant Statistical Officer. And paper 3 is only for those who are applying for Audit Officer, Assistant Audit Officer, Financial Officers who are having BCom, okay, MCom, MBA, CA, ICWA. These people are eligible for paper 3 only. Okay, following. Not for all. Paper 1 is for all the candidates who qualify Tier 1. Okay, following. So coming to the scheme of examination, it is clearly it is being included here that Tier 2 will include conducting of paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3. So there are 3 papers and there will be 3 separate shifts here. Paper 1 is compulsory for all the posts, for 33 posts which you are applying. Okay, following. So for all the categories, paper 1 is compulsory. Paper 2 will be only for those candidates who are applying for the Junior Statistical Officer, JSO. Okay, and paper 3 will be only for those candidates, okay, following, who are applying for Assistant Audit Officer or Assistant Accounts Officer. So these are the financial related post. Financial related post. Okay, following. So therefore, paper 1 is compulsory for all. Paper 2 is for specific qualification, as well as paper 3 is also for specific qualifications. And coming to the paper 1, it includes 3 sections, okay, having 2 modules each. Following. So this was the scheme of examination for the tier, that is for section 1. Okay, fine. In the tier 2 syllabus for section 1, we see that it is module 1, module 2. Okay, following. And again in section 2, module 1, module 2. In section 3, module 1, module 2. Okay, fine. So this is very important for paper 1 and it is compulsory for all the candidates who qualify the tier 1 syllabus. Okay, following. So coming to the indicative syllabus of type 2. Okay, we shall get into the deep of the syllabus to understand about each and every module. Okay, like what about the mathematical abilities, what about the reasoning and intelligence, what about the English and general awareness, including computer based knowledge as well as data entry speed test. Okay, following. So coming to the mathematical abilities in paper 1 in session 1 you find the section 1 and module 1 you find this mathematical abilities. In mathematical abilities you will be given 30 questions. You will be given 30 questions. So out of these 30 questions you need to solve around 20 to 25 questions, my dear friends, to be in the merit list. To be in the merit list. Okay, so 20 to 25 questions you must target. So specific chapters, choosing some specific modules or topics may get you easy for preparing for this Ssc Cgl examination. Okay, following. So here number systems, coming to the number systems which we generally see in our 10th level, in our intermediate level as well as in the degree level also, and we find this in the competitive examinations also. Like what are the whole numbers, decimal and fractions, relation between the numbers, nothing but the number system will be asked here. Okay, following. The next, fundamental arithmetic operations, like regularly which we find in the bank examinations or any other state level examinations. Like you see, percentages, ratios and proportions, square roots, averages, interest, that is simple interest and compound interest, then profit and loss, discount, partnership business, mixtures and aggregations as well as time and distance, time and work, men and work. Okay, following. So it is even men and work. Such kind of topics will be given to you. Next, coming to the algebra, that is basic algebraic identities of school algebra and elementary certs. Okay, following, as well as graphs of linear equations. So certs, indices, algebraic kind of questions will be asked in this topic. Okay, coming to the geometry, very important for Ssc Cgl type 2. Okay, which is very hard. Okay, following. So which is very hard. You need to practice more about geography, like familiarity with elementary geometric figures and facts, triangle and kinds of centers, congruence and similarity of triangles, circles, okay, circles and its chords, tangents, angles subtended by chords of the circle. Following. So like two chords, okay, following. So two or more circles will be given to you to find out the tangents about those circles. Coming to the mensuration. Okay, mensuration topic is also very important. So out of 30 questions, around 4 questions or 5 questions will be from geometry and mensuration. Okay, geometry and mensuration around you may get even 5 to 6 questions, even 5 to 6 questions you may get from this chapter following. So like triangles, quadrilaterals, regular polygons, circle, prism, that is right prism, right circular cone, right circular cylinder, sphere, hemispheres, rectangular parallelepiped, the next regular right pyramid with triangle and square base. So these are the geometric as well as the mensuration topics, okay, which we regularly find in the SSC examinations. If you look over the previous year question papers, it will become very easy for you to understand, okay, about the examination pattern, one thing, okay, as well as about the question even. Okay, so what kind of question and how about the question is being framed. Okay, following. So therefore, mensuration and geometric topics along with the trigonometry and probability, permutations and combinations. These are the very important topics for Ssc Cgl, my dear friends. Here such kind of pure questions will be asked, pure mathematical questions will be asked. Okay, following. So here trigonometry, in the trigonometry, okay, following. So like trigonometry, trigonometric ratios, complementary angles, height and distances. Simple problems will be given to you. Okay, so if you look after the previous papers, you may understand about the depth of the question. About the depth of the question. So it will be like, you see, sine 20 plus cos 20 is equal to 1. So such kind of identity simple questions will be asked to you. So needed to worry more about this. Okay, if you just practice the previous year questions. It is more helpful for you to understand the depth of the question as well as module of the each topic. Coming to the statistics and probability. Okay, use of tables and graphs, histogram, polygon, the next bar diagram, pie chart, measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, calculation of simple probabilities. So in this probability, you may get around 2 to 3 questions, and from mensuration there is a possibility of 3 to 4 questions, and in the geometry also you may get 3 to 4 questions here. So maximum 8 questions, minimum 6 questions are guaranteed from geometry and mensuration, my dear friends. So algebra, there is a possibility of 1 question, and from these fundamental arithmetical operations, there is a possibility of getting around 6 questions. Following the next number systems, there is a possibility of getting 1 question. Okay, following next, okay, following. So in such a way, on an average, out of 30 questions, you may solve around 20 to 25. 20 to 25. So what you should do to get this 20 to 25, we'll discuss in the end of this video. Okay, following. So you just continue watching the video until end. Okay, I'll tell you how to practice the each module of Ssc Cgl type 2. Coming to the module 2 of section 1 of session 1, following. So here we find reasoning and general intelligence. Remember, my dear friends, SSC reasoning is quite different from other examinations. SSC reasoning is quite different from other examinations because in this we find diagrams, we find the missing letters or missing words, okay, as well as the statement based questions. So SSC reasoning is quite different from bank reasoning as well as the railways and the state public service commission examination reasonings. So SSC reasoning you can score very good marks. So you can score around 25 marks. Okay, following. So come say come 25 marks we can score in a Ssc Cgl type 2, even type 1 also. Okay, following. So let us try to understand about the reasoning paper here. So as we know that reasoning means verbal and non-verbal reasoning. The next, these kind of questions will include analogy, a favorite questions for Ssc Cgl exams as well as CHL exams also. Okay, but analogy we find in SSC usually. The next, symbolic operations, symbolic number analogy. The next, figural analogy. It may be number analogy or figural analogy, or else even the letter analogy. The next, space orientation as well as semantic classification. Then Venn diagrams will be given. So with teachers, engineers, then professionals, lawyers, etc., some kind of Venn diagrams will be given, and some kind of questions will be asked. Identify who are the lawyers along with, okay, men or women. Okay, how many women lawyers are there? How many men professionals are there? Etc. Such kind of questions will be asked in the Venn diagram. The next number classification of numbers. The next drawing inferences, figural classification, punched hole, pattern folding, unfolding, semantic series, figural pattern, etc., etc. Such kind of questions will be asked, but you need to focus more on wherever I mark red. Wherever I mark red. Okay, so number series, compulsory questions, figural series, compulsory questions, critical thinking, yes, problem solving, emotional intelligence, statement kind of questions will be asked, statements and arguments, statements and uh, conclusions. Okay, following. So such kind of questions will be asked. The next, coding, decoding, very common subject for reasoning. And finally, the number operations. So here in this reasoning paper, following, out of 30 questions, you need to score around 25. So remember, reasoning is very important for getting good marks. It will increase your score. It will increase your score. Following, so 25 you must get at any cost. Next, coming to the module 1, section 2, that is English language and general awareness. First, we'll discuss about English language, okay, and comprehension. Then we'll move to the general awareness. Okay, following. So, English is very common for all the students. Following. So, whether they are from English medium or Telugu medium or Hindi medium students, okay, or any other state. Okay, following. So language based students. So English is very common. Following. So other, what happens is, for most of the Hindi medium students, they get advantage of the Hindi paper for arithmetic, reasoning, general awareness, computer knowledge, or data speed entry. But coming to English language, for them also it is very hard. Okay, following. So here most of the students, what they feel. Okay, following. So there are two types of students. One is a English medium student. The other one is the verbal language student, like Telugu medium student, or Kannada medium, or Tamil medium, or Hindi medium student. For English medium students, what they think is, English is very easy for us. From KG to PG, we have done all the schoolings and college in English medium. So we are very perfect in English because we studied in English, and we read the question paper very fast. Quick reading, quick answering is very okay. Following practicing for us. So English we do not practice. Let us practice at the end or a week before the examination. They, what they do is they neglect. Coming to the Telugu medium students, they fear of English. Okay, following. So they fear of English, so therefore they do not even try to learn. Okay, following. So the serious students, of course, okay, following. So the student, always the serious students will find their way. But what the Telugu medium students feel is, okay, fine. So English paper is very hard for us. It takes much time to understand about English. So we'll do one thing. Okay, we'll have a grip over arithmetic and reasoning as well as general awareness. Then English qualifying is enough. Following. So both English medium students as well as Telugu medium students are having the same, okay, or are on the same boat here. Okay, for English medium students negligency. Okay, following, and Telugu medium students fear, or any other vernacular language students are in fear of English. So how to simplify English is very important here. How to simplify English is important. Why? Because you see, it is English language and comprehension. My dear friends, the grammatical part for competitive exams is only 20 to 25%. Okay, remaining 75% is non-grammar, and also a person who doesn't have a grammatical knowledge in English can also crack this paper. Following. So if you follow this, so like you see, vocabulary, find out the root words. Okay, so go through the previous papers or any other examination papers, you can find this. Okay, following. So because in SSC what happens is repeated questions will be given. Repeated questions. So solve at least 20 years SSC papers, be it SSC Cgl or CHSL. Okay, following. The next grammar. So grammar part, as I said you, it is only 20 to 25%. Only 20 to 25%. The next structure of the sentence. It is also like grammar only. Okay, following. So structure of the sentence, grammar only. The next synonyms, antonyms, previous year questions of bank, SSC is more than enough. Okay, following. And also some of the questions you need to pick up from the newspapers. If you make your own notes, it will be very easy for you. It will be very helpful for you. The next and the correct usage, how these synonyms and antonyms are being used here. The next, spot the error. This is also grammar. That's why I told you it is 25%. Following. The next, fill in the blanks. This is all about the prepositions. This is all about the prepositions. Okay, like if questions, of questions, the questions. So way to use these questions will be given here. Okay, following. So is such kind of questions. The next again, synonyms, homonyms, antonyms, spellings. Okay, detection of the misspelled words, idioms and phrases. Compulsory questions here. Compulsory questions. The next, one word substitution, very easy for you to substitute. Okay, the question will be given along with the options. You need to find out the right one. It is very choosy, very easy. Okay, following. The next, improvement of sentence. Again, grammar have come here. Okay, following. The next, active, passive voice of verbs, conversion into direct, indirect narration. Okay, very easy. That is tenses. If you learn, you can do this topic. Okay, the next, shuffling of sentences in a passage. The next, nothing but rearrangement of sentence here, very easy topic. The next, close test. A passage will be given with the blanks, you need to fill that passage when with the right option. Okay, following. So here also it is very easy. The next, comprehension passage. Reading comprehension passage which is the given time. You take 3 minutes time to read the passage and understand it. Okay, then 3 more minutes to answer it. Within 6 minutes you must do with nearly 10 to 12 marks. Okay, always you see comprehension passage carries 10 to 12 marks in SSC exams, in bank exams. So if you do at least 100 previous papers, sorry, model papers along with 20 years previous papers, this is more than enough. More than enough. Okay, following. So comprehension passage. Following. So to test comprehension, 3 or more paragraphs will be given. So sometimes what happens in Ssc Cgl is in tier 2, not in tier 1. Okay. So sometimes more number of passages will be given with 4 or 5 liners. 4 or 5 liners. So it becomes very easy for you. Understand? Following. So reading the passage, answering the question. Reading the passage, answering the question. So one question or two questions will follow with the each passage here. Following. So therefore, it becomes very easy for you. Following. So where do you get these passages? These passages are being taken from a book. Okay, based on a story or a poem or a prose. Okay, following. And 2 paragraphs will be on current affairs, nothing but editorials. Okay, newspaper editorials. Newspapers editorials, already it is given based on the report or on an editorials. So based on the editorials only you must go. Following. So what are the newspapers then? Okay, following. You follow the Hindu paper. The Hindu newspaper. For editorials it is best. The next, Economic Times. Economics Times. Or else you can go for the Mint. The Live Mint. So these are the papers more than enough. Okay, following. the Mint. Okay, other papers like Business Standard, Financial Times, those papers also you can follow. Okay, or else the Times of India. But okay, generally the most of the questions are being picked up. Most of the passages or most of the paragraphs, comprehension passages are being picked up from these newspapers, my dear friends. So here in English language, 45 questions are being given. Out of 45 questions, you need to solve around 40 questions. Okay, to find out yourself in the merit list, you must get 40 questions, my dear friends. I'm not joking. Understand? Following the serious candidates will study for at least 10 hours. Okay, so 10 to 15 hours you must work hard now because SSC Tier 1 is in December. Tier 2 will be in January or February of 2023. So you have hardly 5 months. So within 6 months, your future may change. Okay, you may become a government employee, a central government employee. So don't waste these 6 months of time. Understand? So prepare well. So prepare for at least 10 to 12 hours. Then only you will get 40 out of 45 for English. 25 out of 30 questions you can solve for reasoning. 25 out of 30 questions you can solve for arithmetic. Okay, following. So 25 questions means you will be getting around 75 marks. So 75, 75, 150 marks out of 180 for section 1. And coming to English also, if you solve around 40 questions, you will be getting around 120 marks. Okay, following. So in such a way, you must think. Understand? Following. So 4 3 12, 120 marks you will be getting in English language. Then in the same section, okay, following the section 2 of paper 1, you are also having general awareness which has 25 questions. So out of these 25 questions, you must try for getting 25 out of 25 or else 23 at least. 23 at least. Okay, following. So there is a possibility of getting 25. How, sir? How will we getting 25 questions? Because all the questions will be from general awareness. Okay, Indian polity, Indian history, Indian geography, Indian economy, then general science, which carries physics, chemistry, and biology, then science and technology, including environment, disaster, management, GK, and current affairs. These are the traditional subjects which we are finding since our 6th standard. Perfectly. Okay, following. If you just polish your brains, you can do well in the examination. Of course, I know that the syllabus is very huge for general studies, general awareness. But, okay, following. If you prepare well for all these subjects, at least 8 to 10 subjects you have. If you are perfect in this, making previous year papers or else practicing the model papers, you can do well in the Tier 2 even. Okay, following. So most of the questions are from general awareness, my dear friends. Following. So the based on the environment about around us. Okay, following, as well as around the syllabus also, around the subjects. The subjects like history, culture, geography, economic science, general policy, and scientific research. Following. So if you just practice the previous year questions, PYQs, as well as model papers, okay, this is more than enough for us. So solve at least 1000 questions. 1000 questions you just practice on general awareness alone. 1000 questions. Solve all the questions of SSC, CGL, CHSL, then RRB exams, then CDS exams, then UPSC exams. UPSC exams up to 2011 only. Okay, because after 2011 CSAT has come and the questions is very descriptive. Such kind of descriptive questions won't be asked for SSC examinations, my dear friends. It will be one word sentence questions and also options. Okay, no complete sentence based questions will not be given here. Para based questions will not be given in SSC examinations, my dear friends. So you just practice around 1000 questions. Okay, that is more than enough. And the students who wants to go with the descriptive, wants to know more about history, that is ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. Following, you just go with the brief books. Okay, in the market, many books are available regarding general awareness and general studies. Understand? Following. So therefore, you just carry out, pick up a book, practice it for 10 times. That is more than enough. So coming to history, as I told you, you have medieval history, and before that it was ancient history. Okay, then medieval and modern history. So find out which are the important topics. So compulsory the question will be from Buddhism and Jainism. At least 1-2 questions will be from Buddhism and Jainism. The next one question will be from Guptas, because golden age of India will be derived from Guptas. So it is Guptas, one question will be asked. Then compulsory 2-3 questions will be asked from Delhi Sultans as well as the Mughal dynasty. Then coming to the modern history, okay, but so most of the questions are based on the independence movement. Okay, so independence movement will be asked about the questions. So since 1858 to 1947, what are the events occurred? You must remember. Okay, following, when was Congress Party established? When was Swadeshi movement taken place? When was Morley Minto reforms have come? When was Gandhiji returned to India from South Africa? Then when was this Jallianwala Bagh has taken place? When was national non-cooperation movement was taken place at national level? What about Chauri Chaura incident? What about Simon Commission? What about round table conferences? Okay, before that, what about the Lahore Commission, where he had declared independence for India on 26th January? Then 3 round table conferences, then Salt Satyagraha in between along with the civil disobedience movement, Government of India Act 1935, then Quit India movement of 1942, and finally Simla conferences, etc., etc., cabinet mission plan, and finally independence in the year 1947. So in this way, if you just following, briefly understand about the subject in your mind within just 15 minutes, you will have an idea what to prepare, what not to prepare. Because in these competitive examinations, what not to prepare is also important. Okay, coming to the geography, prepare about the physical features of India more than enough. Okay, about the Himalayas, about the Great Northern Plains, about the plateaus of India, about the islands of India, then also the coastal plains and the desert of India. This is more than enough about the physical geography of India. Apart from the climate of India and their crops. Okay, what about the climate of India? What about the crops of India according to the climate, according to the weather conditions? Kharif crops, Rabi crops, Zayad crops. Of course, this will become in economic geography. Then about culture of India, about art and culture, even as architecture of India. So such kind of questions you should not miss. Understand? Coming to the economics also, learn about economics. What about GDP? Okay, national income, GNP, NNP. Learn about these meanings. Okay, fine. It will be simplified for us. The next about unemployment types, poverty types, as well as recent trends of unemployment, recent trends of poverty here. Very important topics. Then about inflation, how Reserve Bank of India is controlling the inflation of the country. Following, the next about the Niti Ayog reports. Previously it was known as Planning Commission. What about the 5-year plans? 12 5-year plans we have done with. What about their targets? Okay, following. The next about recent budget 2022 as well as economic survey 2021. So you should not miss these topics. As well as even in economics or in economy, most of the questions are asked from the banking sector also. At least you will be getting 3 to 4 questions about the banking sector. Recently banks have been merged. So out of 19 public sector banks plus 1 SBI, okay, now it is total 20, now it is only 12. So 11 PSUs at a different and SBI. So total 11 plus 1, 12 is, banks are there. So what about the anchor banks and merging banks? What about bank recapitalization schemes? What about the monetary authority or monetary policy of Reserve Bank of India. How Reserve Bank of India is regulating the key policies of monetary policy, key policy rates like bank rate, CRR, SLR, repo rate, reverse repo, MSFR. What are the meanings of these rates? What are the present trends of these rates? You must have an idea. Along with this, stock market, Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, recent trends of stock exchange, negotiable instruments. Okay, following all this, you must have an idea. Okay, following. Even regarding the polity, also regarding the constitution, regarding the articles, regarding the amendments, regarding the schedules of the constitution, regarding the Panchayati Raj system, as well as the municipal bodies in India, about president and governor, Supreme Court and high courts, okay, prime minister and chief minister, such kind of questions you should never miss. You should never miss those topics. So that is why I say that 25 out of 25, including the current affairs, persons in news, sports in news, awards and honors, books and authors. Following important dates. Important dates you should study at least 3 months before your examination for Tier 1 and Tier 2. Okay, following awards and honors, you must divide it. Okay, whether it is the book is written by a famous author, whether it is the largest selling book, or whether the book is being awarded. So awardee book. Following in such a way, you must choose about the books and authors as well as important days. Then about the geographic indications as well as about the national affairs and international affairs. About the Shanghai Cooperation and Organization, which was recently held. About the G20, okay, about the BRICS, about the G4, G7. So such kind of questions you should not miss, my dear friends. Okay, following. So recently you see the elections was held in 5 states in India. That is Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, then Goa and Manipur. The change of these CMs, except Yogi Adityanath, other 4 states CMs are being changed. You must have an idea about it. Then change of the governors. Then about the change of presidents and prime ministers around the world of countries. You must have all this, okay, knowledge. Then only you will be getting 25 out of 25, my dear friends. Now coming to the section 3 of module 1, that is computer proficiency test. Okay, following. In this computer proficiency test, most of the questions will be from basic to standard levels. Okay, following, that is organization of a computer, central processing unit, that is CPU. What about the CPU? What is memory unit? What is ALU? Okay, where will be the storage, etc., etc. What about the motherboard, etc. Then input output devices. These are the basic questions, very basic questions. Okay, from I think from your school days you're looking about these questions. The next, computer memory organization, backup devices. Okay, backup devices. Then ports, Windows Explorer, keyboard shortcuts. At least 1 or 2 keyboard shortcuts will be asked. Okay, at least 1 or 2 keyboard shortcuts. Then about the softwares. Okay, that is about the operating system, Windows operating system, including the basics of MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint. Okay, fine. Compulsory at least 2 questions will be asked from these, and around 3 questions are asked from these. 3 or 2, 4 questions are asked from this, because from keyboard shortcuts 1 question will be asked. Then working with internet and emails, around will be asked 2 questions from this. Following. The next, basics of networking, cyber security. So which is a trend now. Okay, following. So which is a current event now. Knowing about the network and information security threats like hacking. Okay, following about ethical hacking. The next, various viruses and worms as well as trojans around the world. How the world is facing different kinds of viruses, worms and trojans, and what are the preventive measures taken by the countries is very important here. Okay, following. So the current from this current topics will be getting around 6 to 10 questions. 6 to 10 questions will be getting from this area only. From this area only. Okay, following. The next coming to the paper 2 where you find statistics. Till now we discussed about the paper 1. Paper 1 is compulsory for all the students who are giving their test for tier 2, who qualified for tier 1 and giving the test for tier 2. And paper 2 specifically is for junior statistical officer only. Okay, following. So for them, the syllabus is like this. So this is the syllabus for statistics. Okay, following. So here in this paper 2, that is statistics, primary and secondary data of classification and presentation chapter will be given here. Okay, which you have done in your graduation. Okay, following. And all this will be of basic standard only, don't worry. Methods of data collection, tabulations, graphs and charts, frequency distribution, as well as presentation of frequency distributions. Such kind of questions will be given. These are all of basic level, okay, which you have seen your degree level. Okay, so common measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode, partition values, okay, deciles, percentiles, such kind of questions. Next, coming to the measures of dispersion, common measures of dispersion, range, quartile deviations, mean deviations, standard deviations. Okay, following. So such kind of questions are important. Next, movements, skewness, kurtosis. Okay, so different types of movements and their relationships. Meaning of skewness and kurtosis, different measures of skewness and kurtosis. Okay, following. So these are the basic questions, my dear friends. Very basic. You will be getting around 100 questions here, and out of 100 these 100 questions, you may solve around 60 to 70 questions. 60 to 70 questions you must solve from this. From this paper. Okay, following. Understand? The next correlation and regression, very common topic in the graduation. Okay, following. So about the simple correlation, coefficient, simple regression, Spearman's rank correlation. Okay, measures of association of attributes, multiple regression, multiple and partial correlation. Okay, following. So such kind of questions will be asked in the statistics paper. Okay, following. So if you go through some of the previous papers or else model papers of graduation and PG, there is more than enough. There is more than enough. So, but you must practice for at least 1 month. Okay, for 1 month you must practice for this paper 2. The next paper 3 is specifically for the people who applied for the accounts officer as well as audit officers. Okay, following. So for this only paper 3 will be given, not for all the paper. So paper 3 is general studies, finance and economics. Finance and economics. So here in the finance and economics, about financial accounting, basic, intermediate first year, following financial accounting, basic concepts of accounting, following. Understand? Following. What is financial accounting? How the financial accounting is being dealt here, nature and scope, limitations, etc., etc. All this will be in MCQs only, multiple choice questions only. You need not to write any description here as you have written in your graduation or in your intermediate level. Here MCQs will be given. You must be very cautious. Okay, well, you must be very cautious. The next, basic concepts of accounting, that is single and double entry. The next, what about the bank reconciliation statements, about the journal, ledgers, trial balances, rectification of errors, okay, trading, profit and loss appropriation accounts. The next, balance sheets, following, depreciation, following. The next, non-profit organization accounts, how the non-profit organizations accounts are being dealt here. Receipts and payments, incomes and expenditure. The next, bills of exchange. Okay, wherever I have marked red, this is more than enough for the paper 3. Okay, following. So in the paper 3, you have part B also, where economics and governance will be given. Next, nothing but application of the economics. Following about the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. The constitutional provisions, constitutional status, role of COG. Okay, what are the accounts are audited by the COG here, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. He is the highest accounts officer in India. Okay, highest accounts officer in India. So he can audit any account of central government, state government, or the local government, or any other PSUs or any other organizations which are registered by the government of India. So CAG can audit government and private company accounts, any accounts which are dealt in India. The next about Finance Commission. Okay, you know that first Finance Commission K.C. Niyogi from 1950 to 1955. So likewise we have 15th Finance Commission right now. Following. So 15th Finance Commission. So 15th Finance Commission is running right now from 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2026. Okay, following. So very exception is given for 15th Finance Commission because of COVID-19. So Finance Commission is a constitutional body which works over the distribution of revenue and taxes between central and state governments. Okay, between central and state governments. Following. So it will scrutinize the statement of reports between the central and state governments about the flow of budget, flow of funds. Okay, following. The next, basic concepts of economics and introduction to microeconomics, intermediate and graduation first year. Following, for the BCom students as well as for the BBA students. Okay, so such kind of questions will be given about definition, scope and nature of economics, methods of economic study, central problems of economic production possibilities, etc. etc. Then theory of demand and supply, same. Okay, microeconomic level. What about the theory? What about the supply? What about the price? How the supply and demand changes? Okay, following. So based on the market. Okay, and how the price will be reflected based on the factors of the market, that is demand and supply. Following. The next, theory of production and cost. Okay, so cost, that is nothing but this is related to the graphs, law of variable proportions, law of returns to scale, very important topic. Okay, following. So laws of production, so very important topic. Okay, following. If you understand it, you can definitely get the answer here. So here also 100 questions are being given here. Out of these 100 questions, how many questions we can solve? Means 80 questions we can solve very easily, very simple. Okay, following. Then apart from this, nature of Indian economy. Okay, that is Indian economy is a mixed economy. So it is based on PPP, public-private partnership. Following. So different sectors of economy like agriculture, industry, service sector. Okay, so their percentages of growth, etc., etc. About national income of India, then concepts of national income, different methods. All these are nothing but the macroeconomics. Macroeconomics. All these are macroeconomics. So these are all macroeconomics chapters. Okay, following. The next, population, size, rate of growth, implications of economic growth, because huge population, high population reflects on the poverty. If poverty is very high, the government implements various schemes, social welfare schemes to lift the poverty. Again, it is a problem for the government to adjust its fiscal policy. Okay, following. So therefore, the population trends is also important. The next very important topic like poverty and unemployment, absolute relative poverty, types and causes of unemployment, etc. The next, infrastructure, very important, like energy, transportation, communication. Energy means like electricity which we get from thermal energy, then next hydro energy, wind energy, then tidal energy, solar energy, nuclear energy, okay, then biomass, etc. etc. So what are the energy types? The next transportation, roadways, railways, waterways, airways, okay, such kind of transportation facilities which we are providing, and then communication facilities. Communication facilities. So all these are the types of infrastructure. The next about economic reforms in India, LPG policy in India since 1991, as well as disinvestment. Okay, disinvestment, it is not privatization, it is disinvestment of PSUs, public sector undertakings. Such kind of questions will be asked in the examination. The next, money and banking. Money and banking, about the monetary and fiscal policies. Fiscal policy is by the government and monetary policy is by Reserve Bank of India, RBI. Okay, following. Then role and functions of Reserve Bank of India, functions of commercial and banks, then RRBs, regional, rural banks. The next, payments banks. Nowadays we are finding the latest trend of banking, that is Paytm banks, Geo banks, Phone Pay banks, okay, Neo banks. These are the payments banks. The next about the budget, fiscal deficit, balance of payments, BOPs. Okay, following. So about the trade, okay, and transactions. The next FRBM Act, FRBM Act, that is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. The next, role of information technology in governance. Okay, following. So, my dear friends, these are the syllabus till now which we have discussed. Okay, following. So till here we have discussed. Okay, fine. In the paper one, this is about the paper one. Okay, following. So till now we have discussed. And coming to the data entry speed test. Following. So already we have, okay, done with here. Okay, so paper one is mandatory for all the students who have qualified in the type 1. The next, paper 2 is only paper 2 and paper 3 will be only for the specific category post. Okay, following. So here all the paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 consisting of objective type only. Following. So there is no descriptive at all. Following. The next, and there will be a negative marking of 1 mark for each wrong answer, nothing but, okay, following. So here 2 marks is being allocated for tier 1. Okay, for tier 1. For each question. Following. So out of which 0.50% will be negative, nothing but 1 mark will be, okay, negative for tier 1. And even for tier 2 also 3 marks is allocated. 3 marks is allocated. Following. So further, following also for each question 3 marks is allocated. For that also it is 0.50. Following, nothing but 1.5 marks is the negative. 1.5 marks is the negative. Next, coming to the module 1 of section 3 of paper 1 consisting of general knowledge test, there is computer knowledge test following, and it is of qualifying nature and it is mandatory to qualify. Mandatory to qualify. You will be getting around 20 marks. Okay, fine. So qualifying is compulsory here following. So and this computer proficiency test will be used, okay, following. So prescribed for some of the ministries, okay, as departments like excuse me, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Mines, okay. The next, Indian Meteorology Department, Ministry of, that is under Ministry of Earth Sciences, okay. The next, inspector rank of CGST and central excise, inspector rank for preventive officer, inspector rank of examiner, as well as CVIC and postal assistant. Okay, following. So even in the department of post also, these kind of posts are being preferred here. Following. So next. So coming to the data entry speed test. Data entry speed test will be conducted for passage for about 2000 words. Okay, following. And you need to type these words in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes. So it is very tough. You need to practice it on the keyboard, not on the type machine. You need to practice it on the keyboard. Following, it is not on the type machine. Okay, following. And if you want any clarification or practice, okay, you can practice it on ssc.nic.in. Okay, following. And it is mandatory for all the posts. Okay, following. And it is mandatory for all the posts here. So it is mandatory, following, and it is available in ssc.nic.in website here. Okay, following. Now what about the preparation tips? Okay, what about the preparation tips? So how to prepare for Ssc Cgl Tier 2? So first of all, my suggestion is just pick up the materials. Okay, thorough reading must be there. Read thoroughly. Following. The next, practice previous year questions plus model papers. 10 to 12 hours. Okay, 10 to 12 hours preparation is compulsory to crack this examination. Following. The next, practice more MCQs. More MCQs, multiple choice questions. Following. So target 100 questions. Following per day for 100 days. So total 3 months you will be practicing around 10,000 questions. 10,000 questions. Following. The next, if possible, prepare self notes. Self handwritten notes. Okay, following. So these are the preparation tips and strategies, my dear friends. Following. So coming to the how EDUREPUBLIC helps you. Okay, following. So we EDUREPUBLIC have come forward to help you crack Ssc Cgl 2022. Okay, following. You must crack this Ssc Cgl 2022. Therefore, we are providing you the online classes. Okay, for all papers. Okay, so whether it is Tier 1 or whether it is Tier 2. Okay, whether it is Tier 1 or Tier 2, we are providing you online classes. Okay, following. So for all the papers. Then next, we are also providing you the printed we are also providing you the materials through online. materials through online. Okay, following. So it is of PPTs made. So whatever you listen in the class, the same description will be given to you following in the material form. The next, unlimited test. You may practice unlimited test. Okay, following. The next, access to the mobile application, access to mobile app, mobile app and web portal, mobile app and web portal. Okay, following. So access to mobile app as well as web portal is also being offered to you. Okay, following. So by the EDUREPUBLIC. So expert faculty team only give you the complete expert team faculty will be giving you the complete knowledge of each and every subject as well as guidance. Okay, following. So this is all about EDUREPUBLIC. Okay, following. So therefore, we will be providing you with the online classes for Tier 1 and Tier 2 as well as unlimited practicing test with materials available to you. Okay, as well as access to the mobile application or web portal. You need to log into the edurepublic.in. The next, expert faculty team will only give you the complete online classes as well as the guidelines. Okay, how to prepare, what to prepare, and what not to prepare. Okay, because everything is not important for examination following. So therefore, whichever is important for cracking examination, okay, following that only will be giving you the complete knowledge of Ssc Cgl 2022. So therefore, this is all about syllabus. Okay, following decoding for Tier 2. Okay, thank you and wish you all the best.